HitFirstBoxing.com. We in-house Daniel Geale. Daniel Geale, you got a big fight coming up July 26th. Gennady Golovkin at Madison Garden. How are your feelings on this whole fight?
I'm very excited about this fight. It's something that we've wanted for a long time, but unfortunately, it hasn't turned out that way. Different things have happened, and the fight hasn't been able to happen. But now we're extremely excited, and to be fighting Madison Square Garden, it's going to be great. It's a great venue, but also get some titles back as well, which is really good.
No doubt. For a fighter that's coming out of Australia, you've been in Germany many times. You fought people like Frank Stern. You won with these fights. You come into a different ground, different country, not your place. Triple G, he's known at the Garden. This is like his second home right now for him. How are you going to come in for this fight?
I'm going to go in just like I go in with every fight. I'm going to go in confident. I like being in the underdog position. I believe I've been in the underdog position many times in my career, and I thrive on that. I like people telling me that I'm not going to win. I like people saying you haven't got a chance, because that's when I go out there and prove them wrong.
Training camp. What will be your training camp for this fight? Training for this fight, yes.
I'll be training hard, yeah.
But where will you be?
My camp will be mostly in Australia.
In Australia.
Yeah.
You have any specific people that you want to spar with to get you ready for this fight?
Yeah, we do have some people. My team are working all that out. I've got some tough sparring once I do get back to Australia, but at this stage, we haven't settled on everybody that we're getting, but we know we have to be pushed. I felt like I was sparring great. I was preparing very well before the Macklin fight fell through, and I just want to continue that on. I want to keep improving, keep getting better, and make sure that when I do get in the ring, everything goes to plan.
Now, Triple G, any fight specifically that you watched that caught your eye?
What he did against Macklin, he didn't show any respect whatsoever. Macklin didn't really show a lot of confidence in that fight. I don't think he believed he was going to be able to win that fight. So, Golovkin just went out there and done what he was presented with at that time. So, you got to take your hat off to a guy that backs himself that much. But when you got somebody that isn't scared of you, that wants to fight, then it changes everything.
Now, Triple G, his strengths, his weaknesses. What do you see on his point?
He has plenty of strengths. The guy's got good feet, good hands, great hand-eye coordination. But he does drop his guard a little bit as well. He is there to be hit. He does rely on that power. He knows that he hurts people, and he doesn't worry about his defense probably as much. And another weakness as well, I guess he hasn't been in hard 12-round fights before, so he hasn't been taken into that water. So there's plenty there for me to work with.
Daniel, a couple last words for your fans worldwide.
I just want to say it's going to be a great fight. I'm fighting at the Mecca of boxing. I can't wait, and I hope everybody tunes in. It's going to be worth watching.
In the arena, July 26th. It's on. Thank you, sir.
Daniel, going back to about a year ago when you were fighting Darren Barker, how big is this opportunity, and how long did you think it was going to take for you to get back on this big stage again?
I felt with that performance against Barker, although I didn't win, I felt like I won, but I felt like it was a step. People were happy with the performance. I didn't feel like, although I didn't win, I didn't feel like I was beaten and I looked crap. I still looked alright. I still dropped it once. So I knew something was going to happen in the future. I'm excited that it's happening this soon. It's only pretty much not even a year later. So I'm excited that we've got such a huge fight on the cards.
You were half a second away from beating Barker, and then you were 1 point away from beating him on the scorecards. But given that all of a sudden you were without the belt, were you concerned that the boxing world was going to move on without you? Obviously it didn't, but were you concerned that it was going to happen?
There's always thoughts that go through your mind, but I had faith in my team that that would be able to make something big happen. They wouldn't just let me get forgotten about. So I just had to keep in the gym, keep busy, keep training hard, and have faith in my team.
And the reasons why the fight was turned down with Golovkin earlier this year was because of a competing UFC card in Australia?
That's right, yeah. We weren't going to be able to get any coverage back to Australia, and at that time, there were probably a couple other smaller things that sort of added to it. But
like what? I'm sorry.
There's just a couple of things within training that we weren't happy with. That I just had to change a couple of things in training, and Unfortunately, the date was the big factor, and there was no way around it. So unfortunately, it didn't happen.
And so you didn't want to face Golovkin without that money, that additional domestic money in your country being there?
It wasn't so much about the money, like it was about the coverage as well. I mean, it's such a big fight, such a huge fight, worldwide. It'd be great for people in Australia to be able to have that opportunity to be able to see it. That's why we're excited with this one, because people back home will get to be able to see it. There's a lot of interest back home. People have been asking for a long time. They want Australian fighters to fight the best fighters in the world, and they want to be able to see it as well. So we just give the people what they want.
Is there anybody that you fought in your career that you feel compares in any way with what you're going to be preparing for with Gennady Golovkin?
I mean, Golovkin is different from a lot of fighters that I've fought in certain ways, but I guess Sturm to a certain extent, he was always a dangerous fighter. Plus, he had a few close decisions, and everybody knew that he was hard to beat in Germany, or almost impossible to beat in Germany. So, I guess when the odds are stacked against you in that way, nobody believes that you can win. I guess this is probably a little bit similar in ways as well. I think I'm going in as the big underdog, and although I've been world champion before, I think people don't see me as being able to beat Golovkin. They don't think I have the power, but I'm ready to prove them wrong.
Who's the guy who's hit you the hardest in your career?
I've been asked this question a lot. It's hard to say. In a fight, it's really hard to say, but I know I've done a lot of sparring with Sakio Bika, the current super middleweight WBC champion, and that guy punches like a mule. He's got probably one of the most powerful punches, and usually because you've probably seen his last few fights.
Yeah.
He hits you sometimes everywhere. He just gets very wild, and he hurts you everywhere that you can imagine.
Do you feel in any way that sparring that you've had with Sakio Bika is preparing you for what you might have to deal with Golovkin?
Definitely. I mean, we've sparred plenty of times before Sakio, and he's helped me prepare for big fights. And every time I've stepped into the ring, I've been confident against anybody because I've got that behind me.
All right, Daniel Geale, thank you very much.